I'm here to say, hey man, keep striving to be great, man. You'll get to it. You can be better. You'll pick up some things along the way. So, my first topic, I just mentioned Auburn and LSU basketball, but I'm gonna transition to what happened. What is it? USC player, the former Auburn player, Chad Baker. Uh, you know his name. You know his name. Let me go to Chad Baker, Mazzaro. Chad Baker Mazzaro. This is the thing, man. Unpopular opinion. I know Gilbert Arenas went on his rant talking about, if he's the guy, the best player is always right and all that. But man, sooner or later, man, sometimes you gotta just deal with spoiled, entitled, arrogant, ego, to whatever it might be. I'm not saying I know for a fact that is that, but from what I have seen and what I have observed, it seems to be some sort of ego and attitude issues going on with the dude. Because, for one, that would be part of the reason why Auburn let him walk. You know, that would definitely be part of the reason why Auburn didn't want to retain him. And, yeah, we got the money to play into it, but hey, sometimes you had to cut your losses and break it up. If it ain't going right, you just need to let it separate. That's with a lot of things, man. So I'm gonna share my screen for a moment. Let me I'm just gonna go to the headline. So we see a lot of leading scorer dismissed from men's basketball team. That was your best player. And like I said, as I stated, Gilbert Arenas went on the rant and said, hey man, you gotta figure it out this right before the tournament. And so that just lets you know that it's not one thing. They said it was a series of things that led up to him being dismissed. So, although he is the great player, it had to be something. It had to be a straw that broke the camel's back that made them want to get rid of it. So, they let him walk. And they feel like, hey, we going to just close out, finish out, and do what we got to do. But one thing about it is this guy 26, man. I didn't realize he was that old, man. 6 years of eligibility, 26 years old. And I know this is a different landscape. This is a different um, ball game with of college sports. But 26, that's wild, man. And I know some people don't go to college right out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Some people start late. It's just one of them things. For me, it's like 26, bro. But on top of that, you 26 and you still have drama that seems to follow you wherever you go. Now it's one thing to be like a hothead, like a Draymond, or or whoever it might be. It's one thing to be just this eccentric or just weird or crazy, like a Rodman or whatever, what have you. It's one to just be a tough guy, like I would say a Barkley or something like that, or whoever it might be. You can name the bad boys, the Pistons. It's one thing to be that, but it's like sometimes when you wear out your welcome, you just wear out your welcome, man. So with him being 26, I don't know how that's gonna play out. I don't know if he's gonna do like some of these other guys have done to try and petition for another year of eligibility, or if he's gonna try and move on to the next level, wherever that may be, whether it be G League or overseas, or try somehow, some way to get on somebody's NBA roster. Who knows? But one thing about it is it's a pretty peculiar, odd dynamic that we facing with him being 26, bro. 26. But think about it. If you went to college 18 years old. If you was there for 6 years, you'll be coming up out there about 24. So 26 years old, man, I can't say enough about that. But dude is a good player, man. He is very talented, and I hate to see it end that way. But we've seen things not shake out and play out the way that we would like for them to play out. So shout out to him. I hope he um I hope he get it right. I hope he figured out. I hope he make. I hope they both figured out, man. Who knows, man? But once again, man, like I said, I'm just here to talk about what we talk about the way we talk about it. And like I said, one more time, man, where you at, third? It's the third day of the third month on a Tuesday. Third, what's the word? Where you at, Playboy? But I'm gonna hold it down. Cause I'm just gonna, do what I do what I can do to keep the momentum and keep the consistency, man. But next, I'm gonna talk a little bit about. Let me see. Let's look at. Let me see. I'm gonna shift to because I need to get on up over here, man. In a minute, I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So I just look at a few headlines, and then I'm gonna just talk a little bit. And like I said, I'm gonna get on up off of here, man, because we see that March Madness is upon us. We see that Florida and Michigan climbing in new March Madness bracket predictions. We got a lot going on. I would love to see who you all would think or who you all would like to see playing for it all because we know it's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams that's going to be involved. It's a lot of games that has to be played. It's a lot of basketball that has to play out. So one thing about it is this, man. We don't know until we know. And that's all I got to say on that, man. I really can't say I got a favorite that I would pick. We're gonna of course look at this a little bit more in depth on Thursday when third returns, but definitely March Madness is upon us, and we definitely want to stay tuned, track it. You may do a bracket, but I ain't even gonna bother, bro. You know what I'm saying? I take that back. I may consult some AI agents to see if they can give me some brackets. Help fill me out a bracket of two or three or four or five, and just see what I can come up with, man. But Selection Sunday is in 11 days, 18 hours, and 45 seconds. So let's see who gets in, and let's see how far they go. Hopefully your team makes it. But that's all I got to say on that. And we're gonna transition to basketball. So in basketball, we know we are in March and we are getting ready to go into that playoff push. So let's take a look at the playoff picture. Um, as March rolls away, as March marches on, I should say, we will be looking into who is going to make the play in. I feel like pretty much the seeding is pretty much settled right now as we get through these last few games of the season. We don't have very many left, but for those games that are remaining, we're gonna see who's jockeying for that ninth and tenth spot, and see who's gonna end up being in the play-in. The SoFi play-in tournament will take place on April 14th through 17th, and then the playoffs will begin on the 18th. So, you know, set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready for some of the best basketball of the season because when the playoffs happen, that's when everything gets heightened. The talent pool increases, the competition levels up. So right now in the ninth and tenth spots, we got the Clippers and the Trailblazers. Seven and eight, we got the Suns and the Warriors. I don't think neither one of those teams are gonna win anything this year. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. If it's your team, argue with your mama. Unpopular opinion. That's one of my other shows. I might play the intro for the outro. Because if you don't like what I'm saying, so what? Now, in the East, we got the Hornets and the Hawks, ninth and 10th seeds right now, and the Magic and the Heat, 7th and 8th seeds right now. Once again, in the East, ain't neither one of them teams winning nothing this year. Where I'm putting my focus, I ain't gonna say I'm putting my money on it because, like I said, we won't know till we know, and that's the way it goes. But the thing of it is this: will the Thunder repeat? Possibly, probably, maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it will happen. I think they was a kind of a one and done. But who knows? They that sneaky sleeper type of squad that did it last year, and they liable to do it again. Just getting it done. It don't look exciting. It don't look cool. It ain't flashy. It ain't an interesting storyline. It's just basic, boring textbook basketball. It's kind of like a Tim Duncan persona. You know what I mean? Tim Duncan was highly efficient, highly productive, highly talented, highly skilled, all of that, and he won. So once again, even though I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm not afraid to say it's just my opinion, and I could be very well wrong. But I'm not thinking, I'm not picking the Thunder to win it all. But here we go with the Pistons, the number one seed right now. I think that's going to be that. I think they will end up being the number one seed. They are so both of those teams are so far ahead with the game. So they have so many wins ahead of the rest of the conference, East and West conferences, that I think their spots as the number one seed is locked in. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty confident in my opinion, in my assessment. Now, looking at that a little bit further, we have the Celtics at the two spot uh, in the East, and we have the Spurs in the number two spot in the West. Now it might now that one seed for the Thunder, it may change because it's only two games out. But over in the East, we got 5 games. We got a whole 5 game difference in wins and losses. Winning losses, I should say. But I don't even think, put it like this. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Out of the East, my focus is on. I think the Pistons may make some happen, may make some shake. But I'm just looking at the Pistons, the Knicks, or the Celtics. But if I just had to pick, I would say the Celtics gonna come out of the East. But I'm thinking the Pistons may, it might be that year because once again, just like the same thing I said about the Thunder may hold true for the Pistons. And also it's unexpected. We don't expect the Pistons to be here right now because they're a young team, young squad, but Cade Cunningham balling out of control, and they just playing good basketball, and that's just what it is. Now over here in the West, who I want to see come out is either the Rockets or the Nuggets. That's who I want to see. That's who I'm banking on right there. I want one of them two teams to win it all, and that's all. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I don't think the Timberwolves got enough. Ant Man, he a bad man, but I don't think they got enough. I don't think they got enough. But the same thing about the Timberwolves is the same. The same thing true about the Timberwolves could be the same thing that's true about the Nuggets. Depth is an issue. Depth and matchups. When it comes down to it, the depth and the matchup is going to be a problem. But my picks, if I had to say coming out of the East and coming out of the West, with my heart, from the East, I'm gonna say the Rockets. From the West, I'm gonna say the Celtics. But with my head, I'm gonna say from the. I'm sorry. From the West, the Rockets. From the East, the Celtics. And with my head from the East, the Pistons. And from the West, I'm gonna say the Spurs. I'm gonna say the Spurs because, like I said, I don't think that the Thunder is gonna repeat. But once again, I could be wrong because these are just opinions. This is just me talking. Now, I said I wasn't gonna be on here long. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but I do want to send an extra special shout out to my guy Will Robinson. He lost his father. Shout out to the late great gospel singer Roscoe Robinson. If you don't know, you might need to do a little research. But he is a Birmingham legend, Alabama legend. You know what I mean? So soul and gospel singer. I shut my screen one more time as we get ready to get on up out of here, man. But before we get out, I do want to say this. I do want to say this, and I do want to share this. We got more stuff to come when third returns. We still gonna be giving out. We still gonna be giving out this award. We got some people that we gotta give it to. If you do something wild, we might end up giving it to you. So we still gonna be giving out this award. So look forward to it. Also, I want y'all to we coming back with Trill or Trash. We're coming back with Trill or Trash. So be prepared. We're gonna call you out. Some is either gonna be Trill, is either gonna be Trash. We got the new branding for it, Trill, Trash, or Mid. So stay tuned. We're gonna bring that segment back. It's gonna be recurring for both of them, the Mess Up Award as well as Trill or Trash. So just stay locked in with us, man. We're gonna try and make this thing bubble. We're gonna make this thing grow. But if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, here's a little bit more on it. But legendary Roscoe Robinson, born May 28th, 1928, died February 26th, 2026. Died on the 26th day of the second month in the 26th year of the year 2000. Was 97 years old. And I chose to, bring light to this because one thing, it was a childhood friend of mine or what have you, but it's been a long time since we communicated. So, because there was when I used to go to grandmama's house. There's a friend that you would see, over at grandmama's house. But as I was listening to some of his music, I was like, wow, man, he was very talented. But he had a song uh, that was a single. I think it came out in 2023. Let me see if I can get it. I don't want to mess it up. Turn right and go straight. Turn right and go straight. And I think that'll be the final word that I'm gonna lead the show on, man. There's a point in everybody's life that's a turning point. There's a moment when you have to make a decision. Let me rephrase. Let me start over. There's a moment when you have to make a choice. Because in life you have CDC, choice of decisions and consequences. Every day you got a choice, then you have to make that decision, and then you have to deal with the consequences. But sooner or later, you're gonna have to turn right. Whatever is wrong, whatever is hindering your progress, whatever is keeping you off track, sooner or later, whatever has you going left, sooner or later you're gonna have to go right and just go straight. Sooner or later you're gonna have to make that turn, man. When it's time to make that turn, you're gonna have to turn right and go straight. So that's just my final word, man. I'm just gonna close it out on that. If you like, go listen to some of his music. One that I really like is You Qualified, and then another one is Leave You in the Hands of the Lord. Because like I said, he had soul music as well as gospel music. But as I was going, I was just letting it play. I hadn't listened to this one yet, but I really, really, really did that title, man, because that's something that I feel like everybody need to take heed to, man, because it's a moment in everybody's life. You had to turn right, you just had to keep straight. So, final word, turn right, go straight. Don't waver, don't falter, go straight. So make that turn, make that right turn, go straight. So once again, we're gonna close it out and see you next time. See you next time, man. Like I said, I thought third was gonna hop on, man. Third day of the third month. It would be only fitting to hear from third. But once again, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Look out for more from me on WYN Network. I need to get some of y'all to come on and chop it up with me on WYN because I want to know what's your name, what kind of name you're making for yourself. Um, look for more of the sneaker about. I had, I just, I just did some with some shoes that I'm gonna talk about. I probably do that this weekend, man, because it gets busier around here. Let's just say that. And then of course, unpopular opinion. I'm gonna do a little bit more with that. But I definitely want to get in and get to talking with some people, man. I want to share out. But this has been another episode of Tuesday and Thursday. Turn right, go straight.